The Brio Sear function browns the outside of your meat to lock in flavor and juices. The default sear temperature and time are 425 degrees for 5 minutes, but these are adjustable by pressing the temp and time arrow buttons. There are 3 sear settings available, depending on where in the cooking process you want the sear to take place. They are Sear 1, which browns your meat before cooking; Sear 2, which browns your meat after cooking; and Sear 1-2, which browns your meat before and after cooking. To use the sear function, begin by setting your cooking temperature and time. In this case, 350 degrees for 15 minutes. Press sear once. The screen will show Sear 1. The Brio will begin with sear at 425 degrees for 5 minutes before going into your recipe's set cooking temperature and time. Let's drop that down to 1 minute. Now, press sear 1 more time. The screen will show Sear 1-2. We now have added Sear 2, which will begin after the main cooking cycle. It's 425 degrees for 5 minutes. Let's adjust that to 3 minutes. Press start pause. The cooking process begins with preheating. The Brio will then go into Sear 1, followed by the main cooking cycle at 350 degrees for 15 minutes, and then Sear 2 will come after the main cooking cycle. Remember, Sear 2 can also be used on its own, like Sear 1. Simply set your cooking temperature and time, and then press Sear 3 times. The screen will show Sear 2, and when you press start, the Brio will begin with your recipe set cooking temperature and time before going into Sear 2, which also defaults to 425 degrees for 5 minutes.